Here we introduce you two terms. One is called as the stream function, which is represented by psi, and one is velocity potential. As we are familiar, in a steady incompressible plane two-dimensional flow represents the one of the simplest types of practical importance. By plane two-dimensional flow, we mean that there are only two velocity components such as u and v when the flow is considered to be in the xy plane. And for this, the continuity equation for incompressible flow is given by del u by del x plus del v by del y equal to 0. This one is two-dimensional incompressible flow. In the xy plane, we are using the two variables, namely u and v. Instead of two variables, if we define here one more variable, that is called as stream function, which is represented by psi. So we introduce here a function psi, that is the stream function, is a function of x and y, which one is labeled as stream function. So let's say this stream function psi is a scalar function such that its partial derivative with respect to any direction will give the velocity component at right angles to the direction. Since we are using only the x and y direction, so along the x direction we have velocity component is u, and along the y direction we have velocity component is v. So you have to take the partial derivative of psi with respect to x, then we can define the velocity v, and if you take a partial derivative of psi with respect to y, we will get the velocity equal to u. But we have to satisfy this continuity equation also. So to satisfy the continuity equation, we'll define the velocity u such that it is the partial derivative of stream function, that is we have del psi with respect to del y. So u and y, they are perpendicular to each other, and other component will purposefully take as a negative quantity to satisfy the continuity equation number 1. So in this case we get partial derivative of stream function with respect to x. So these are the definition of a stream function. So just remember that if you differentiate psi with respect to x, we'll get a velocity component perpendicular to x direction that equal to v, and if you differentiate psi with respect to y, we'll get a velocity component perpendicular to y that equal to u. One of the value you have to take it negative to satisfy the continuity equation. We can check here that if we substitute for u and v in the continuity equation, then equation 1 implies we have del x of u, which is equal to del psi by del y, plus we have del y of v, which is minus of del psi by del x, which is same as del square psi by del x del y minus of del square psi by del x and del y, that equal to 0. So if you define the value of psi, then automatically continuity equation is satisfied. And the continuity equation is nothing but the law of conservation of a mass. So thus whenever the velocity components are defined in terms of the stream function, we know that the conservation of mass is satisfied. That is proved here. Even better, psi has a beautiful geometric interpretation here. The lines of constant value of stream function are the stream lines for the flow. This can be proved very well because the equation of stream lines in two-dimensional is given as dx by u is equal to dy by v. So if we cross multiply, we will get here v into dx minus u into dy equal to 0, or we can write as u into dy minus v into dx equal to 0. Let's say equation number 3. Now at this stage we can replace u and v by the definition from equation number 2. So from equation 2, u is replaced as del psi by del y into dy, minus term v is replaced as minus of del psi by del x into dx equal to 0. Minus and minus become plus here, and we get del psi by del y into dy plus we have del psi by del x into dx equal to 0. So this one is the total derivative of psi, because already we have defined the psi is a function of x and y. So if you take a total derivative, the left hand side represents here d psi, which is equal to 0. And whenever we have the derivative of any function is 0, it means that the psi is a constant value. Since the value of d psi is equal to 0, we can conclude here the change in psi is 0 along the streamline, or we have psi is equal to always a constant value along a streamline. So consider here a streamline. If you draw a tangent to the streamline, we'll give the velocity at that instant. So this one is the velocity at given point, which consists of two components, one is u and one is v. So if you move from one point P xy to another point Q x plus dx y plus dy along the streamline, then the value of d psi will be equal to 0. That is, the same line represent the psi is equal to constant value. So streamline itself represents the stream function. So stream function psi is related to the fact that lines along which psi is constant are the same as streamline. If we fix up the coordinate axis x and y, in that case we have a slope of stream function psi is given by dy by dx. Now dy is same as equal to v and dx is same as equal to u. So slope is given by v by u in the case of stream function. The actual numerical value given to the psi with a particular streamline is not a particular significance, but if we consider the two streamlines, we can prove that change in the stream function, that is psi, is related to the volumetric flow rate. So for this purpose, we'll consider here the two streamlines psi and psi plus d psi. The lower streamline is designated as psi, upper one is designated as psi plus d psi, and let here dq represents the volumetric flow rate per unit width perpendicular to the xy plane. So we are in the xy plane here, and the width is perpendicular to the board. Already it is proved here that the streamlines are never cross to each other, and by definition the velocity is always tangent to the streamline. So flow is always takes place along the streamline. So this one is a possible flow, and we are interested to know value of volumetric flow rate per unit width, that is the value of dq we are interested. So this time recall that we have discharge q is given as area multiplied by velocity. So this side we have for BC, which is perpendicular to the x direction, so you have to select the velocity equal to u, and this time we have area is dy multiplied by 1. This dimension is dx and this dimension is dy. So in that case we have q or BC plane is given as u into dy into 1, and for the plane AC, discharge is given as the perpendicular velocity v into dx into width 1. I think that you have to follow the sign convention. So if you follow the positive of x-axis, use the positive sign convention for velocity v, and if you are going upward, then follow the positive sign convention of velocity v, and downward will be the negative velocity that you have to follow. So this time dq represents the volume flow rate per unit width, nothing but q divided by the width we are assuming is equal to 1. So this time the incoming flow will be equal to the outgoing flow. So by law of conservation of mass, this time we are applying the for incompressible fluid, so our density will remain constant. So we have q in will be equal to q out. Time we have q in is represented by dq, and for q out we have two quantity. One is through plane BC and one is through plane AC. That we can write as QBC divided by width equal to 1 plus we have QAC divided by width equal to 1. That is, we have dq equal to. Now this time we have to follow the sign convention. This component is taken as positive because it follows the positive of x direction. That equal to u into dy, and this one will take as a negative quantity because it goes in the opposite of y direction. That is minus v into dx. And just now we have introduced the value of u in terms of stream function is a partial derivative of psi with respect to y, and we have introduced the v as a negative value of partial derivative of psi with respect to x. So from 4 and 5, that is, we'll substitute for u and v in terms of psi. We get dq equal to u is nothing but del psi by del y into dy, minus and minus become plus, we have del psi by del x into dx. So right hand side is nothing but the total derivative of psi function. So finally we conclude that the volumetric flow rate unit width, that is dq, is same as the change in the stream function, that is d psi. So anytime if you are interested to calculate the flow rate between the two stream line, one of them is psi 1, another of them is psi 2, then we can use this equation to find out the volumetric flow rate per unit width. The volumetric flow rate per unit width q between the two streamlines psi 1 and psi 2 can be obtained by integrating the equation 6. So if we integrate this, we have integral of dq is equal to integral of d psi from psi 1 to psi 2. In that case, we will get q is equal to psi 2 minus psi 1. That is the physical significance for stream function. It represents the volumetric flow rate per unit. If we have psi 2 is greater than psi 1, then the value of q will be positive. In that case, the flow takes place from left to right. And if psi 1 is greater than psi 2, then we have q is negative. Means that the flow takes place from right to left. We have simple sign convention used for x-axis. If you move from left to right, q is positive. If you move from right to left, then the q will be negative. So this is another important conclusion for the stream function, that is the difference between the two stream function is same as the volumetric flow rate per unit width. Till now we have introduced that we have u is equal to del psi by del y and v is equal to minus del psi by del x. For this one you can take the help of the two-dimensional x and y system u and v. If you differentiate psi with respect to x, we will get the velocity perpendicular to it, that will be equal to v, and if you differentiate psi with respect to y, you get a velocity perpendicular to it, that equal to u. One value you have to take it negative to satisfy the continuity equation. Then we have proved that along the streamline the value of psi is always constant. So streamline and the stream functions, they are identical, and the slope of the stream function along the streamline is given as dy by dx, which is same as v by u. And the physical significance of the stream function is we are able to find out the volumetric flow rate between the two streamlines. That we are discussing from very beginning, that is the stream tube concept. So along the stream tube we can very well calculate the flow rate if you know the two values of stream function. Finally we'll check for condition for rotational and irrotational in the case of stream function. So for this purpose we'll consider the axis x, the y axis, velocity component u, velocity component v, and we have defined the value of u as del psi by del y, and we have introduced the v as del psi by del x, but the value is negative. So whenever we have a two-dimensional flow, rotation is only possible about the z-axis, and in that case we can calculate omega z. Recall that how to write it. Omega z is always equal to 1 by 2 into the difference between the two partial derivative, and the order you have to complete. If it is z, then you have to write down x, that is del x. Here you have to write down del y, and now you have to write down the perpendicular component. So this perpendicular component to the x direction is v minus of perpendicular component to the y direction. If we have omega z, which is given as 1 by 2 into del x del psi by del x minus of del y of u component, which is equal to del psi by del y. We get here omega z equal to 1 by 2. We will get this time minus value of del square psi by del x square minus of del square psi by del y square. This value exists. In that case, the omega z exists and the flow is rotational. For irrotational flow, we can reduce this equation. So for irrotational flow, xy plane, the necessary condition is that we have omega z will be equal to 0. If the omega z equal to 0, the bracket value must equal to 0. Is we have del square psi by del x square plus del square psi by del y square equal to 0. That is, indirectly, if you satisfy del square psi equal to 0, you can conclude that the flow is irrotational. So directly from the psi function, if you take the del square psi and your answer is 0, you can conclude the flow is irrotational flow. If not equal to 0, the flow is rotational. So stream function is very well defined for both, that is for rotational as well as irrotational. In a vector form, we can write this del square psi as del dot of psi equal to 0. So about the stream function psi, you have to remember first the definition, that is we have u is equal to del psi by del y and v is equal to minus of del psi by del x. The physical significance of a stream function is to find out the flow rate per unit width, and which is given as psi 2 minus psi 1, but sometimes this value is positive and sometimes this value is negative. So better to take the mod of this, which will always guarantees the positive value. And the third point is the slope of a stream function is given as dy by dx equal to v by u. The stream function exists for both, that is for rotational flow and irrotational flow. And suppose we are given the value of stream function, you have to check that the flow is rotational or irrotational. In that case, you have to calculate the value of del square psi. If this value equal to 0, then conclude that the flow is irrotational, and if not equal to 0, then you have to conclude the flow is rotational. That is, you have to just calculate del square psi by del x square plus del square psi by del y square, and if this equal to 0, it's a irrotational. So these 4 points are important for us, and numerical is normally appear on the definition, that is they will give the value of psi and they will ask you to calculate the value of u and v, or otherwise they will ask you what is the velocity vector. So in this case the velocity vector will be equal to uy plus vj, and you can very well calculate the value of u and the value of v, or sometimes they will ask you the magnitude of the velocity, that you can calculate as under root of u square plus v square. Second question expected on the discharge per unit width. Third question expected on the stream function, and the fourth is the rotational and the irrotational flow. The volumetric flow rate per unit depth between the two streamline having stream function psi 1 and psi 2 is always the difference between psi 1 and psi 2, but you have to take the absolute value. So choice D is correct choice. For a two-dimensional flow field, the stream function is given by psi is equal to 3 by 2 y square minus x square. The magnitude of the discharge occurring between the streamline passing through the point 03 and 04 you have to calculate. So we have given here the two streamlines. They are passing through point 03 and 34. And we are interested to know the discharge per unit width. So discharge Q per unit width is calculated as the modulus of psi 1 minus psi 2 or psi 2 minus psi 1. Any difference you can take, because modulus it always give you positive value. And we have given the stream function psi equal to 3 by 2, which is same as 1.5 y square minus x square. The first stream function is passing through 0, 3. So we have 0, 3, and from this you have to calculate the value of psi 1. That will be equal to 1.5 3 square minus 0 will be equal to 1.5 into 9 is 13.5 meter cube per meter per second. The second stream function is defined at 3, 4. So correspondingly we have to calculate the value of psi 2, which is equal to 1.5 into 4 square minus 3 square, that equal to 10.5. So these two values you have to plug in the given equation and we can calculate discharge. So we have discharge Q equal to mod value. We have psi 2 is 10.5. We have psi 1 is 13.5. So this difference is 3. So we have 3 units. Choice B is correct. A stream function is given by psi is equal to 2x square y plus x plus 1 y square. The flow across a line joining A34 B02. So this time we can calculate the flow per unit width. That is, we have Q is equal to, that is the discharge is equal to mod of psi 2 minus psi 1. So we have given here the streamline equation. That is, this one is psi 1 and this one is psi 2. One point is given as 3, 0 and other point is given as 0, 2. And we have to calculate the discharge Q per unit width. So we have defined the value of psi as 2x square y plus x plus 1 y square. So at point 3, 0 we will get psi 1. So you have to put 3, 0 to obtain the value of psi 1. So psi 1 will be equal to 2 into 3 square into 0. X is equal to 3 plus 1 and we have y is equal to 0. So this value will be equal to 0. Second point is defined as 0, 2. Let's call that will be equal to psi 2. In that case we have 2 into 0 will be 0 plus we have 0 plus 1 into 2 square. So that will be equal to 4. So put this value back, you will get mod of 4 minus 0. So in this case we have discharge per unit width is 4. Choice C is correct. The stream function in a two-dimensional flow field is given as psi is equal to x square minus y square. The magnitude of the velocity at point 1, 1 we have to calculate. So stream function is a scalar function. It differentiates with respect to x, will give the velocity v. So in this case we have v is equal to minus of del psi by del x. So we have v is equal to minus del x of x square minus y square is same as minus of 2x. And to solve this value at 1, 1. So we have v at 1, 1 will be equal to minus 2. If the scalar function psi is differentiated with respect to y, we will get the velocity u. So we have u is equal to del psi by del y. So you will get del y of x square minus y square, that equal to minus of 2y. So u component at 1, 1 will be equal to minus 2. So velocity vector v bar is given as ui plus vj, which is equal to minus 2i minus 2j, and therefore the magnitude of the velocity will be under root of 2 square plus 2 square, that equal to 8, which is same as equal to 2 root 2. This time choice B is correct. Which of the following stream functions represent a possible rotational flow? We are given the two stream functions, psi is equal to a x square y square. Second stream function is psi is equal to ln of x by y, and a and b are constant. Now since the stream function exists here and we have to check for rotational or re-rotational, we'll go for Laplace equation. That we're going to check del square psi by del x square plus del square psi by del y square, and this value should not be equal to 0. In that case the flow is rotational. In the first case we have psi is given as a x square y square. We have psi which is equal to a x square y square. So we have del psi by del x equal to 2 times of a x y square, and therefore we have del square psi by del x square equal to 2 times of a y square. Now we can calculate del psi by del y, that equal to derivative with respect to y is 2 times of a x square y, and we have del square psi by del y square will be equal to 2 times of a x square. In that case we'll get a del square psi will be equal to del square psi by del x square, which is equal to 2a y square, and del square psi by del y square is 2a x square. That is, we have 2a x square plus y square, and this value is not equal to 0. It means that the flow is rotational. In the second case we can write the psi function as ln of x minus ln of y. In that case we'll get del psi by del x as 1 by x, and we have del square psi by del x square equal to minus 1 by x square. That is the derivative of 1 by x. Similarly, we have del psi by del y equal to minus of 1 by y, or we have del square psi by del y square. Minus minus become plus, we have 1 by y square. So finally we have del square psi will be equal to 1 upon x square plus 1 upon y square, and this value is not equal to 0, so flow is rotational. It means that both the given flow represented by psi are rotational. So choice A is correct. Both are rotational. A two-dimensional flow is described by velocity component u is equal to 5x cube and v is equal to minus 15x square y. We want to find out stream function. So as far as the stream function is considered, it's a scalar function, and if you differentiate the scalar function psi with respect to x, we'll get the velocity is minus v, that equal to minus of minus 15 x square y. So we have del psi by del x equal to 15 x square y. So partially integrate with respect to x, we'll get psi is equal to 15 integral of x square is x cube by 3 into y, and constant will write in the form of function of y. So we'll get psi is equal to 5 x cube y plus f of y, and if you partial differentiate psi with respect to y, we'll get the velocity equal to u. So this time we have del y of 5x cube y plus f of y. This you have to put in one bracket equal to u. U is equal to 5x cube. So derivative of 5x cube y with respect to y is same as 5x cube plus we have f prime of y is equal to 5x cube. So this time 5x cube and 5x cube is cancelled and we have f prime of y is equal to 0. Therefore, if you integrate, you will get fy will be also equal to 0. Hence the stream function is given as psi is equal to, from equation 1, we have fy is 0, stream function is given as 5 into x cube into y. The stream function value at 1, 2 will be equal to 5 into 1 cube is 1 into 2, that equal to 10 units. So choice A is correct. A stream function is given by psi is equal to 3x square y plus 2 plus t y square. Find the velocity at I plus 2j minus 3k when t is equal to 2. So this one is representing the position vector, and the position vector is given by xi plus yj plus zk, which is same as I plus 2j minus 3k. It means that we have to solve at x equal to 1, y is equal to 2 and z equal to minus 3, and you have to take the value of t is equal to 2. Given value of psi is 3x square y plus 2 plus t y square. If we partial differentiate psi with respect to x, we will get the velocity perpendicular to x direction, but is taken as negative, is minus v. So partial derivative of 3x square y with respect to x will be equal to 6x y will be equal to minus of v, and the second term will be equal to 0 because t is a constant and y is also constant with respect to x. So this time we have v is equal to minus of 6. Value of x you have to put as 1, value of y you have to put as 2, so we will get minus 12. And if you differentiate psi with respect to y, you will get a velocity equal to u. So in this case we have u equal to, if you differentiate the first term, you will get 3x square, and the second term will be equal to 2 times of 2 plus t into y. So we have u is equal to 3. You have to put the value of x equal to 1, 1 square is 1, plus we have 2, we have to put t is equal to 2 and y is equal to 2, in 19 value. So we have velocity vector v is uy, which is 19i minus 12j. In that case the magnitude will be equal to under root of 19 square plus 12 square equal to 22.47 meter per second.